What's going on, guys? Back here again with another episode of Mornings with Baris. And today is episode 10. You know, we finally hit a milestone. 10 episodes, all right? Today's episode is going to be about learn how to adapt. Okay? That's a big one. That matters a lot in life. Learning how to adapt. But as always, before we even get into that, we're going to go ahead and do our breathing technique, okay? For those of you who are new here, breathing techniques, we do them to bring ourselves back to reality, okay? A lot of us, we wake up with issues already. We wake up worrying about yesterday's issues. We wake up worrying about tomorrow's issues. We wake up worrying about later today's issues, you know, and if you wake up worrying about something already, it's gonna make it a lot harder for you to have a positive day, okay? So the whole point of this is I help you breathe, right? I help you breathe. And what breathing does is it helps you bring you back to the current moment, to the right now moment, okay? Because right now, you don't need to be worrying about whatever you're worrying about. Right now, all you need to do is be focusing on this video, right? You came here to watch a video. You don't put a video on, watch it, and then continue to worry about other things. No, you most likely, if you put a video on, all your attention should be on the video, right? Okay, obviously. But let's get to the breathing. So, we're gonna do three breaths, all right? 3 to 5 second inhale, hold it for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then you exhale 3 to 5 seconds. We're gonna do that 3 times, okay? If you need to do it more than 3 times, go ahead and pause the video. But if not, then whatever. But we're gonna go along together, okay? So, first of all, go ahead and loosen yourself up, you know? All right, let's go. First inhale, I'm gonna do it with me. I'm gonna do it with you. First of all, exhale everything in you, let out everything in you, and then start with your first inhale. So, empty out, first inhale, go. Hold it, go, let exhale. One more time, inhale. Hold it. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Let go. Now, if you did that the way you're supposed to do it, you should feel a little lightheaded or something, right? That's great. If you need more, if you need to do it a couple more times, go ahead, pause the video, go ahead and do that, then come back, okay? But let's get to the video now. Learn how to adapt, all right? Learning how to adapt. Listen, life is not always predictable, okay? It's not always gonna be predictable. Like your morning right now, it can start off however you have it planned, right? You get out of your bed, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you eat your breakfast if you do that, and then you head on to work, right? And as you usually plan, like your usually plan goes, what? You do all that and you get to work, you have your work day, and then you come back home, you do whatever, right? But life isn't always predictable. Life isn't always perfect. All of a sudden, on your way to work, you can get a flat tire, you can get into a car accident, or even at your work, you can be working and then something unexpected happens, right? Maybe a customer has an issue. Maybe your coworker you guys have some kind of problem, whatever. So if you're somebody who's on track, you're trying to go somewhere, you have some kind of goal, you have some kind of accomplishments you're trying to make happen, you need to learn how to adapt, okay? Because anything in life can happen. Let's say one of your goals, your accomplishments in life is you're going to school, right? You're going to school to get some kind of education so that you can enter some kind of career field, right? That you desire. So you're going to school, and all of a sudden your school says, oh, let's use right now as an example. You're going to school, and then all of a sudden all this pandemic stuff happens, right? So now you're forced to go to homeschooling. Maybe you're the type of person who you like to actually physically be in the class, right? That's how you learn the best. And then this whole stuff happens, right? All of 2020 happens. And now you're forced to do online schooling. Let's say you don't like online schooling and it's very hard for you, right? So now you're left with two decisions. You can either learn how to start going to school online and continue your education, or you're gonna have to let it go and quit on the plan, right? But if you're somebody who you know you're trying to get that, you have to get that schooling done because you need that to get to your career level, then you know that, hey, I need to learn how to adapt to the situation. The situation has changed, right? For that person, the situation has changed. Now they have to adapt, because if they don't adapt, they won't be able to get to where they need to get to, right? So that's how we all have to go through life. You need to learn how to adapt. One way, be flexible with the things you do, okay? If one way doesn't work, do it a different way. A lot of us, we're so used to doing something a certain way, right? We're so used to living our lives a certain way. We're so used to having things happen a certain way that sometimes, or a lot of times, as soon as something different happens or some kind of thing happens in the situation that makes us have to do something different, it's like our world is ending, right? It's like, oh my God, I've never prepared for this. I don't even know. This doesn't usually happen, blah, blah, blah. You see? Because you've never had to adapt, you've never had to deal with a change, now your world is crumbling, which is why you need to be flexible with the things you do, okay? If you're doing something and all of a sudden things change, you're gonna have to change with it. You're gonna have to. Otherwise, you'll get left behind, right? Be flexible. If you're doing one thing one way and all of a sudden it doesn't work, does it make sense to just stop? No, because if you stop, you won't be able to get to your goal. You're gonna have to just do things differently. That's all it is. Let's say your car breaks down on your way to work. What are you gonna do? Just not go to work? Hey, I can't go to work. I have no vehicle, so it is what it is. No, you're gonna adapt. You're gonna do something differently. What are you gonna do differently? You're gonna catch a ride to work. You're gonna ride the bus to work. You're gonna ride a bicycle to work. You're gonna walk to work, whatever. The thing is, you're being flexible. One way that you were so used to no longer works. So instead of just quitting, you decide to find another way to make it work. That's being flexible. That is an example of learning how to adapt, okay? Closed doors aren't bad. It's a push in a different direction. A lot of us, hey, we have our mind set on this. We want this to happen, okay? I'm doing everything to make this happen, right? And then let's say you're working for a job. You're trying to get a job, right? So you prepared yourself. You learned everything you need to learn about this job. You went ahead and you studied. You did everything. You practiced everything. And now it's the day of the interview, right? You go to the interview and you're having your interview with the guy, with the boss, the manager, whoever it is. And then you go through it, and then next thing you know, you find out that you're not the right match for the job. In a way, that's a closed door, right? You thought you was gonna walk through that door. You thought you were gonna walk through it. You didn't end up being the match that they needed, that they wanted. So now the door closed. For a lot of us, when that door closes, it once again, it ruins our world, right? It breaks us down. It makes us feel like, damn, we're not enough. I don't have what it takes. You can look at it like that, right? Or you can look at it like, wow, that door closed. It sucks. But maybe that's my opportunity to just try out another door. I can go to another door. You don't have to quit. You don't have to say, you know what? The door closed. I guess I'll just turn around and walk away. No, you don't have to. You can just be like, oh, the door closed. There's a door over there, though. I'm going to go to that door. Or there's a door over there. I'll go to that one. Or this door closed. I'll just step to the side. Oh, another door. You know, it's all metaphorical what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. Just because the door closed does not mean that's it. It's the end of the day. It's the end of the world. No. It just means it's a push in a different direction. Maybe that direction wasn't for you. Maybe that career field wasn't for you. Maybe that educational route you were taking isn't for you. That doesn't necessarily mean quit, because you still learn things that can benefit you coming this way. It just means take what you learned from this, go a different route with it, take a different direction with it, and apply what you learned over there. You know what I'm saying? That's another example of learning how to adapt. You don't just quit when it gets hard. You just, it sucks, but go a different way with it, okay? Focus on the positives within the negative. Keep going. Look, anytime something bad happens, it's not really something bad, okay? Bad things aren't really bad They're just things that we would rather not have happen, right? It's inconvenient, it's bothersome, nobody really wants to work on something that they don't really want to work on. So bad things aren't really bad, they're just inconvenient. But one thing though, every negative situation, every negative action, anything negative, there is always a positive in it. There's always a positive within the negatives. You just have to look for it. All right, you're gonna have to dive deep into it. You're gonna have to actually want to find the positive. And when you find that positive, because it is there, and if you look hard enough, you'll find it. When you find the positive within the negative, you use that to your advantage, and you focus on that. You use to your advantage, and you make it work. An example: let's say you're working at a job, right? You're working at a job. Next thing you know, we can use 2020 as an example. All of this pandemic stuff happens, right? And then now your job lets you go. They let you go. So and that would be a negative, right? All of a sudden, the job that you've been working at for so long, now they don't need you anymore, or they can't have you anymore. So they let you go. That would be a negative, right? Most of us, we see that as a negative. That sucks. Once again, my world is crumbling. My job left me. I don't know what to do. If you just look at it right there and you stay right there, yes, it's going to look like a negative. But if you dive a little deeper, you dig a little deeper, and you really look at the situation for what it is, you can find the positive in that negative. Well, Baris, what's the positive in that negative? I lost my job. How's that a positive? Yes, you lost your job. But maybe now this is the opportunity that you've been wanting to find a better job. Because you kept talking about finding a better job, right? You kept joking about it with your coworkers. Man, I hate our boss. The hours are too long, the pay is not right, blah, 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 blah. You always thought about finding a new job. You always talked about finding a new job. You always joked about finding a new job. Maybe now, them letting you go is the opportunity that you've been asking for. Now is your chance to really go out there and find a better job. Because before, yeah, you kept talking about it, but it was more convenient to just stay where you were at. You know what I'm saying? Now, reality kicked in, and you can look at it like, hey, I lost my job, the world's ending, or I lost my job, maybe this is the chance that I've been waiting for to find a better job, like I've been asking and talking about. You gotta look at it half full, half empty, guys. Learn how to adapt, okay? Focus on the positive within the negative. That's all you gotta do. Don't be afraid of change. This is a big one. Don't be afraid of change. Use it to your advantage. Life's always changing. You can keep up or get left behind. Now, if 2020 ain't that's the biggest example of that right there. Everything changed. Everything. Everybody is dealing with some kind of changing effect from 2020. Whether you were hit with the virus stuff directly or not, all of us are dealing with some kind of big change in our lives, right? That's a guarantee, right? I know you are. So, and it's causing a lot of stress for us. It's causing a lot of issues. It's causing a lot of unwanted stress, unnecessary stress. A lot of things that we thought we would never have to worry about, we're now worrying about, right? Don't be afraid of change. Use it to your advantage. Look, life is always changing, all right? Perfect example. Look at your life right now. Go back 10 years ago. Go back 20 years ago. Or even if you're a young person, just go back 3 to 5 years ago. Are you the same person that you were 3 to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? No. Is the world the same way it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? No. Laws are always changing. Rules and regulations are always changing. People's everyday likes and the things that we do are always changing. Menus at restaurants are always changing. Prices for items are always changing. Fashion is always changing, right? There's a multitude. There's so many things, right? I'm saying all that to say, life is always going to change. If you are the type of person who you don't like change, you can't work with change, you're not willing to change the way you're doing things to continue doing them, life's going to be rough, right? Because if you can't adapt to change, you get left behind. Look at all of 2020. If you're somebody who continued to fight the changes that were happening in 2020, you probably had a very rough year, right? So that's what I'm saying. You have to learn how to adapt, okay? And it's not just for the big things in life. It also means for the little things in life. Learn how to adapt. If you're so used to using a certain toothpaste, your favorite toothpaste you've been using for years, and now all of a sudden that toothpaste is discontinued by the company, what are you gonna do? Not brush your teeth? No, you're just gonna, it's gonna suck, but you're gonna find another toothpaste so that way you can continue brushing your teeth. That's a little form of change. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Just don't be afraid of change. You have to. So let's recap. Learn how to adapt. This is something we all need to do. We all need to be ready for, willing to do. Learn how to adapt. It doesn't matter what level of life you're at, okay? Be flexible with the things you do. If one way doesn't work, do it a different way. Don't just quit. You don't have to quit because things get hard. Just do it a different way. Maybe you'll take some time off. Go ahead and think about it. Think of different ways. You don't have to rush into the next best thing. You don't have to rush in finding an idea. Sometimes the best ideas and thoughts come to us when we stop looking for them, okay? Just be flexible. If it doesn't work, do it a different way. Closed doors aren't bad. It's a push in a different direction. Most likely a better direction. Just because whatever you were hoping for, wishing for, demanding to happen, just because it all of a sudden doesn't happen, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Just take your talents, take your skills, take whatever you were trying to do with that one situation, take it and do it in a different situation. It's the same thing as if it doesn't work, do it a different way, okay? Focus on the positives within the negative. Every negative has a positive. Just like every positive, if you look hard enough, you can find something bad about it. Every bad, if you look hard enough, you can find something good about it. You just got to be willing to do the work, okay? And the effort. Focus on the positives. Don't be afraid of change. Use it to your advantage. Life is always changing. You can keep up or get left behind. All right, I shouldn't have to get back into more detail with that. Self-explanatory. You can either keep up or you get left behind. It's no one else's fault but yours. You are in control of your life. You can keep up with life or you get left behind. It's as simple as that. All right, so learn how to adapt, guys. Just learn how to adapt. All right. Yeah, my mind's going all over the place. Anyway, we're gonna do our little dance. For those of you who are new, if this is your first video you're watching of mine of this series, we do this dance at the end. We breathe in the beginning to calm ourselves down and bring us into the now moment, so it's easier for us to learn and listen. And then at the end, we dance. And the whole point of dancing is to just get rid of all the negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Just shake. You don't have to actually dance. You can just shake, bounce, hop around, skip, whatever. You're shaking off all the negative energy, right? We're removing all this stress. We're getting the blood flowing. Yes, we're starting our day in a positive way because we want to keep it in a positive way. We want a positive day. So this is what we do, all right? We don't let no negativity get in us. And if it does get in us, we shake it off like this. That's it. All right? Do whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. Just shake, just dance, be alive. That's all you got to do, all right? Be alive. Nobody cares. Do what makes you happy. They care. They're gonna make fun, but who cares? But yeah. All right, guys. This was another episode 10. All right. As always, positive thoughts at all times, please. Okay. That doesn't mean ignore negative thoughts. No. That doesn't mean act like negative thoughts aren't there. No. Positive thoughts mean we acknowledge the negative. We see the negative. We learn from the negative, and we take it and we use it to our advantage, and we focus on the positives, and we turn all negatives into positives. Positive thoughts at all times. Stop playing yourself, okay? As always, I'm out of breath from that little ass dancing. Keep God first. Keep God first. Your heart in the right place, and you will always win, okay? Yes, you can. You got this, baby. Learn how to adapt. If you don't change, you get left behind.